was a moment, huh? Oh no, hold on. It was just a moment where I think he was telling her that she the most honest person he ever met or something like that. And I was like, do he know? I said, I'm starting to think he knows. You know, Joey told Randy at the end of the episode that he gonna find out what him and Haley hiding. But okay, hey y'all, welcome back to the review of Life of Chelsea for Beyond the Gates, November 4th, 2025. First things first, let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. What y'all think? Did y'all like the episode? Okay, so we're gonna start with Pamela. I thought this was gonna be the episode where Andre reveals why he doesn't like his photo being taken anymore or whatever. But yeah, Pamela stopped by. She's still trying to pressure Andre to be in the model, just telling him about how Danny missed out on opportunities back in the day, and now he may or may not be the reason why she missed out on opportunities again. So I'm assuming that eventually he gonna actually model. See how that goes. Danny was back in Bill's face again, but she stopped by because she wanted him to okay, hold on. Cause she wanted him to donate to the fundraiser or their event and stuff, and she also wants him to MC. He agrees to do it or whatever. Haley came in at the end of their conversation, and that's when Danny said she could come too. She gonna try to convince Bill that Danny was trying to use him and take advantage of his kindness and his money and stuff. And he was just saying how Danny has her own money and she's pretty well off or whatever. That's how you gonna try to point the finger at Danny or whatever, knowing doggone well you over here poisoning him trying to get his money. But yeah, then what? Stop! You about to break me? Oh Lord, hold on, y'all. Okay, what was he talking about? Oh, at the end of the episode, Randy gonna tell Randy gonna tell Joey, oh, you know what? I was just trying to impress you. That's why I said that. We not actually having an affair or anything like that. She stopped by to thank me about, taking her to the hospital. I said, it's too late now. And he's like, I don't know, what y'all hiding, but I'm gonna figure it out. I thought he said he had eyes and ears everywhere, that he know what really be going on. I said, what good is it for you all to be these doggone mobsters and criminals and all this other stuff, and y'all ain't got no cameras, y'all ain't got no audio or nothing like that. But yeah, what else? Haley mad that Randy told Joey that they having an affair. Vanessa was having breakfast with Joey. Anastasia ends up coming by, just telling Vanessa about how she was so sorry to hear about Doug and all this other stuff, and basically the whole town know there's something inappropriate going on between her and Joey. And she ain't trying to hide it or nothing like that. She over here holding his hand, and Anastasia was like, for y'all to be business partners, y'all show holding hands and basically doing inappropriate stuff. I said exactly. Joey ends up telling Anastasia that he had Doug murdered so that he could have Vanessa to himself. And look on Vanessa's face. And he was like, I was just joking or whatever, basically to shut her up. I said, was you though? Was you really? Because I don't think so. Apparently ends up asking Andre why he don't like having his picture taken. I don't think he told her why. Haley worried that Joey would tell Bill, and Randy was saying how he's not going to say anything. He's not like the people in town who be telling all their business and stuff like that. Haley doesn't feel guilty. She was like, she'll never be Danny. She used to be a supermodel and she just do all that way for somebody like Bill. I said, you seem pretty jealous to me. Tell me she'll never fall or anything like that. I said, shoot, could have fooled me. Could have fooled me. But yeah, what else? Danny won't be able to donate to the event. She also wants on the MC. We talked about that. Naomi thinks that Jacob is the one. Stop. Jacob is the one who needs a therapist. And she just, I don't know. By the end of the scene, Chelsea managed to convince her to, basically compromise. So she agreed to go to couples therapy with Jacob. Stop. What else? Let's see. Jacob stopped by to see Nicole because he wanted to talk to her. She was like, she can't be his therapist because it'll be a conflict of interest. I said, I don't think that it ever stopped none of y'all before. But yeah, she ends up offering to refer him to a therapist. She still offered to talk to him as a friend, so he told her what was going on. So she suggested that he, volunteer with kids so he could actually get a feel of it. Because it's one thing to be like, okay, you like the idea of kids, but to actually be a parent is a completely different thing. And that's what she told him. So he ended up telling Naomi that, he gonna get a therapist and she wants to come with him and stuff like that. But she still seemed pretty bothered to me. And I was like, ain't no way, once again, if he actually volunteered and he see that he actually does want kids and stuff like that, and she still don't want kids, then they just gonna have to end things. Ain't no way around that. But yeah, Chelsea tells Naomi to ask herself if it's more important to be right or work things out with Jacob. Vanessa says she knows Joey was just joking, but she don't seem too sure. Joey wants to put Vanessa in charge of his escort business. He said that Diego is an escort, and she was like, "What? He never charged me," and he was bothered. But I said, "Well, by Diego gonna get you." I was like, "What? He an escort?" And they showed him in Anastasia face making arrangements and stuff like that. She ended up saying how now Diego works for her, so she better be careful how she talks to her and Joey or whatever. Oh, what else? Let's see. I said, Vanessa thinks she trying to be a little Joey over here and don't even really know what's going down. Don't even really know what's going on. You trying to be a mini Joey? What the word going on around here? But yeah, what else? Joey before he left, he did. You know how you act like you got two weapons? You act like you got weapons and stuff like that. He did the little finger movements towards her, and she looked like she's very afraid. Stop, girl. Going on now. What else? Let's see. I already said Haley implied that Danny was taking advantage of Bill, and I said, "Girl, please, you the one." I said, "If anything, you gonna make it seem like you the one. I mean, not make it seem because you actually are taking advantage of him." Danny tells Andre that she went to see Bill and she wanted him to be the MC or whatever. Bill told Haley that she the most honest person he know, and they zoomed in on his face, and I was like, "He got to be playing her." I said, I want to know at what point did he realize she was playing him, if he did. Because I feel, I be paying attention to people's facial expressions. I don't know if it's just because, watching all these shows and movies and stuff like that. But I'm assuming he knows, or he about to know. Stop, don't tear that up. What else? I already said Nicole encourages Jacob to volunteer with kids to see if he actually, want kids or not. We talked about Vanessa. Spider-Man. I know you Spider-Man. Back up, Spider-Man. Back up, Spider-Man. Randy tells Joey that he made it all up. He was just trying to impress the boss or whatever. And Joey's like, okay. He was like, I'm going to figure out what's really going on. Stop it. He going to figure out what's really going on around there and stuff. And at the end of the episode, Bill done took his tail out the doggone office. I said, nobody got no, y'all know I said this all the time. Nobody be having no cameras. For them to be running around creating, doing criminal acts and stuff, you would think that they would have some doggone cameras. But yeah, he done came, he was walking up, but he didn't see nothing. She over here putting the doggone poison in his drink. I was hoping she left out and he grabbed the other drink or something. But yeah, he just taking it to the end. He over here drinking real fast. I said, you ready to die, ain't you? I said, you ready to die, ain't it? Yeah, just drinking it real fast. He said, you in this tea. I said, that should tell you. Something should be, ringing. She keep trying to get you to drink this doggone tea for a reason. He said, you in this tea. I said, exactly. But that's it, y'all. Let me know y'all thoughts on this episode down below. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. You better not tear that book up. Stay tuned for the next review. Until next time, deuces. Have a great rest of the night and be safe.